Hello YouTube, you're with Sponge, and today I want to do something a little bit more topical. I've just got home from my EPQ, which is a project A-level, if you will. And what they did was, they take the course and form it in the form of a question, where you have to choose what you want to research. And it's more about how you research it rather than what it is. And I've decided, well, I can do that probably with some YouTube videos. So I decided, first off, I want you guys to send me in questions that I can answer. I can pretty much answer anything. That's what the internet's for. I will find stuff for you, and I'll pose it into a way you'll understand. I'll also have some gameplay footage that you're probably seeing now in the background. Not sure what it's going to be most of the time, but it's going to be some gameplay footage just for you to watch and enjoy while you listen to what I've got to say. This week, although because this is the first video in the set, I've decided, well, if you're new to the gaming society, which console's better to buy, the PS3 or the Xbox? I'm not taking into account the Wii because that's not more of the online consoles. That's more of a family Christmassy get-together kind of console. We use it for festive events, and maybe if you have like 5 or 6-year-old brothers, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just had a look at the little the money stats, if you will, to each console. I looked on Amazon.co.uk because I'm in England, and that's the website I would go for. Amazon is a typical internet website that you can buy things from, in case you never heard of it. Amazing if you haven't. So yeah, I looked it up, and you can find the cheapest PS3 I could find anyway. 160GB console was £189 on the buy it now. I haven't taken into account second hand or whether you can get shipping and handling. I'm pretty sure it's free though, which isn't. Well, it's not bad for a console. I mean, 160GB will last you quite a long time. In terms of the PS3, there's not much you really need 160GB for. I mean, the games need installing and stuff, but that's more about, it's not really need a lot of space, if I'm honest. But if I compare that to the Xbox 360, the cheapest one of those I could find on Amazon, well, I found the arcade, which is the original one, which didn't have a hard drive on the top. You could install one, but I found that one for £160, which is pretty good considering. If you want to, you could consider it the older generation of the Xbox, because they have that new slim design out now. I'm not sure that's what they're calling it, but you know, the black one. I'm sure you've seen it with the Kinect and stuff. So yeah, I would say that because the PS3 is like £29 more expensive, I wouldn't consider that much, because on the PS3 you get your Wi-Fi built in most of the time, and you also get your online subscription for free. If you take those factors into account on the Xbox, it's going to cost you a little bit more than a PS3 would cost you. If you're going for the cheapest ones, I mean, if you want to get like maybe the 240 Xbox, I'll tell you how much I got mine for, because I think that's the one I have. And I think that was maybe about £300, so you know, they kind of get more expensive if you want. Also depends what place you buy it from, I suppose. But that's the money kind of side. Also, another thing you might want to take into account is how much games are going to cost you. I had a look at a very common game for people to want to buy, which is of course Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It's one of the most recent games out. And I found it for the PS3 for £33 and the Xbox for £33, which means that there isn't much of a difference between how much games cost you. I mean, £33 is cheap and all, and you probably won't find them normally that cheap. You'll probably find them about £40, depending on where you shop. I shop at game, they're normally 40, 45, depending on how good the game is. And so yeah, I mean, you need your games, you need your online. I would say in terms of how or who should own a console, I would say because of the newly added Kinect feature, I would more or less call the Xbox more of a teenager kind of kiddie console for family, because it just has been since it came out, I would say. I mean, it's always been the cheaper of the two consoles to buy, because, you know, teenagers aren't going to have enough money. And also, it is strictly for gaming. Whereas the PS3, I would say it's not so much for older men, I would say, but older men might take more of a liking to it. I mean, everyone can still own both, but I would say because the PS3 has a Blu-ray player installed instead of a PS2 emulator, which I thought, well, it's a good idea, but then that means if I want to play something like the classics of like Worms 3D and things like that, you have to go into your closet and pull out your PS2 and hook it up for 5 minutes to play that game, which takes absolutely forever, rather than just slide it straight in your PS3 and you're ready to go. I mean, they have some of the games to download, but I wouldn't say more or less that they're equal to the original. And I'm going to say the Xbox it just generally has more of a family feel. It's easier to control, I would say. I mean, the PS3 has a lot of technical stuff. It's more sophisticated looking. Like, if you take a business and maybe Toys R Us, for example, great examples right there. You could see the differences. Like, one's for children, obviously, one's for sophistication. That's the kind of stuff you get with these two consoles. I'm gonna go on to maybe something like controllers now. I would say, personally, I think that the PS3 controller is better because I like the layout. I was a PS2 kid before the new consoles came out. I never had the original Xbox. I had one, but not after the PS2, and I still thought that was better. I just like the fact that you got the directional pad in the top left corner, and the sticks are close to each other. I just like that layout. I know you guys might think otherwise, but that's just your opinion, you know? In terms of reliability for controllers, though, I would say the Xbox ones break down a lot less because I have 5 or 6 of those PS3 remotes now, and the keys have gotten sticky over the years. It's just because of, no, I wouldn't say dirty hands, but that's going to sound wrong, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you that kind of stuff, like if you want to eat some chips before playing a game console or something, the Xbox is just all around, the controllers have been better. I mean, I got my arcade Xbox with a Elite controller, don't know why, but they gave me one for it, and I've had that for like 2 or 3 years now, and it's only just starting to get a bit sticky keyed, if you know what I mean. And I had my PS3 controller for like 2 months and it starts doing that. Also, I've seen a couple of people complaining about the triggers, R2 and L2 on the PS3 remotes. I don't think there's a problem with them, because they've switched them around on, like, Call of Duty, for example. They switched it, so that's the grenade instead of shoot. But they have the triggers in the form of the Xbox ones. If you've never seen that, they're kind of like crescent moon shaped rather than the other way around. And that, people just seem to like them more. I like the fact that you could take the charge packs out of the Xbox remotes, though. Whereas the PS3 ones, the charge is built inside. So if you lose the cable, you can't do anything about it, really. But you can get the battery packs, or you can get the charge packs for the Xbox, which is pretty convenient, because the charge packs are actually pretty expensive. I'll go on to exclusive games. Now, everyone knows that both consoles have exclusive games. To name 1 or 2, I think Haze was exclusive for PS3, and Killzone was exclusive for PS3. And for the Xbox, you got Gears of War, you got Halo. I mean, they're all really good games. I've played all of them. And I think that most of the time, the Xbox games are the ones that get turned into PS3 games in the end. But sometimes it does work the other way around. I can't really think of an example where the PS3 game, I think Final Fantasy 13 might have gone from PS3 to Xbox. Don't know about that one. You might have to check that up. But I've always thought maybe, you know, I think the exclusive games, the Xbox are better. In terms of online, I always thought that the more social console is the Xbox, because you got your headsets and stuff. I mean, they both have headsets, and the PS3 has the Bluetooth one. But I would say that the Xbox parties is very unique to the system, where you can actually just go up and say, "Hi friends, you want to join a party and just have a chat?" You don't have to play the same game. You don't have to be in the same lobby. You can just chat with your friends if you really wanted to, if that's what you want to do. But you have things like Skype as well, so that's how I think PS3 people get around it. It's like, use Skype. So yeah, I'm thinking that's most of the stuff you would want to go for in a console. I personally prefer the Xbox. I mean, I know you haven't seen my layout of my room, but I have my Xbox set up and my PS3 as well set up. But I mostly use that for like Blu-rays and videos and stuff. And because most of the time socially, I just like to play with my friends. Like, you know, Transition, OG, I'm always on my Xbox with those guys. And because you can have parties and stuff, OG can be on like 2K12 and I can be on Sonic, and Transition can be on Call of Duty, and you can still talk to each other. That's my favourite thing about the console, if I'm honest. So yeah, main point of this was I would just like to say I like topic videos. I'd like to make some. If you guys got questions, drop them in the comments box. Or if you really want to, you can YouTube the channel messages. Pretty sure the YouTube has an inbox messaging system. You can just post the channel if you really want to. Drop some comments, you know. Leave your name if you want to. If you don't want to leave your name, just leave the question. That's alright as well. Yeah, but that's the kind of it, guys. I'll see you later. Rate, comment, and subscribe.
Mission directive failed. We'll have to send Command and Bravo team.